Okay, so I have currently a text document that I generated at random per the kind of Library of Babel style thing. What I would like to do is figure out a way to make the computer search this for certain words or phrases. Right? My thought is that I could become the boss of the Library of Babel forum by downloading a whole bunch of random books and then searching through them all for something and then noticing where that thing occurred and then, like, posting it. Like, haha, look at this badass thing I found. I found the instructions for whatever. Totally. I'm going to look for my favorite souffle recipe in here, right? Or maybe we'll just look for the word souffle. So one way you could do that is you could, like, hit Control F with the text document open, and you could figure out how to spell souffle. Is that how you spell souffle? S-O-U-F-F-L-E? Sweet.
So what we need is something to produce a book, something to search it, something to then decide if it found the souffle, stop with producing books. If it didn't, produce a new book, search again until it finds souffle.
Exactly. But we'd like to pull the books from the Library of Babel, right? So that would be this would be a big coding challenge to actually get this to work, right? But I can definitely make it so that I can search a book for souffle that I downloaded from the Library of Babel, right? So, in order to get it to search, I think I need, one, a new sketch. So I'm going to save this on the desktop as book search, right? And what does my book search need?
You need the text document. So
Okay, so I need to get... Oh, I actually also need a copy of the text document in the folder with it, right? So I'm saving a copy of the text document that I generated into the same folder as the sketch I'm working on, right? Okay, so now my book search folder has a copy of the document that I generated with my other sketch. Keep in mind it's not the same, right? So if I go regenerate that thing to make it longer or something, it won't change the one in the search folder. So I need to get a book, right? So import book. So to do that, I need a load strings, which is going to make a new string array, right? So I need a string array to stick it in. So string array, which I'm going to call lines, and I'm going to set that equal to load strings. And what do you have to pass load strings? Yeah, the file name. So I think I called it document.txt. And it's just saying that I haven't used this thing, right? Okay, so in order to just use it, check that I got the book in there, what should I do?
Print lines.
Yeah,
Things.
print some of it out. So print line. Yeah, so just to check that I got something in, right? I'm going to print out the zero line, right?
Can we tell the other thing to print in the folder of this other thing?
I don't know. That's an interesting question. Yes, probably. I'm assuming you can put in a full file path.
yeah.
Or I could put in a file path here. Right? So instead of doing document.txt here, I could do C:// blah, 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 and the address of the other file. Let's see if this worked. Cool. Seems like I got the first line. Is that in fact what the first line of my text document says? Perfect. Cool. All right, so I've got it loaded in as strings. Now I want to search it, right? Okay. So
That sounds like an if command using the substring.
you could totally do that. That would definitely work. There's a cool thing. So I want to search a string array. How about just search a string in processing? So there's two of these that seem like they're a good idea. There's a match and a string index of. There's another one that I looked at for a while, which was a way to match regular expressions. Let me see if I can find it. String processing expressions. Was it match? Maybe it's match. Oh yeah, it's match. Sorry. Match is also a possibility, but it is definitely a little complicated because what it does is it makes an array of the places in which you've had a match. But it doesn't actually do that. It does a weirder thing involving regular expressions, and I do not want to talk about regular expressions, actually ever in this class. So we're just not going to use the match command. So instead, we shall use the index of command, which is a little bit funky. So it tests to see if a substring is embedded in a string and then returns the index of the first occurrence in the string. It tells you how many letters into the string you are before you hit the thing you're looking for. Does that make sense? So like if I ask it, look. So if I ask it, what's the string index of the character C here? Where does C occur? It occurs in the first or 0 spot, right? It prints 0 spot. If we ask it where the P is in the 0, 1, 2, 3rd spot, so it should print 3. And then if you ask it for a longer thing, it'll tell you where that thing starts. Cool? What does it return if it doesn't find the thing? Null would probably be a good answer, right? Like, that's a reasonable thing. Except that you don't really want null pointers passed around. So, usually you return something weird, like a value that's obviously outside the range of your function. So this thing should obviously return a value between 0 and whatever the length of the string is, right? So if it returns -1, it's pretty clear that it didn't find what it was looking for. There's no special thing about -1. It could have returned -35, and it would still work in exactly the same reasonable way. It's just that -1 is a lot easier to remember, right, than -35. So, how do I make that work here? So, you take a... Let me just grab that thing so I can remember what the context looks like. Okay, so here I have my example, which I'm going to fully comment out. And that's kind of what I'm thinking, at least. So what do I want to check first? Okay, so I want to make a for loop that's going to... What's my for loop going to loop through?
The string indexes, or the slots in lines.
Yeah, so lines is a long array, right? It's got one array element for each line. So I'm going to just go through the text document line by line looking for souffles. Right? So, first things first, I want some looping variable, right?
Right. Or I equals 0.
Okay, so start at 0, go to... Okay, so keep your I smaller than lines.length, and go up by 1. And what do you want to do inside said for loop? Okay, so you want to do... Wait, say that again?
Int, whatever you want to call it, is equal to lines index of supply.
Okay, so I want to take the lines thing for sure, right? I'm with that, and I want to pick which line, which index in lines do you want to check? You want to check the ith line, right? So we're going to start at 0, and then we'll do 1, and then we'll do 2 until we get to the end. And what are we going to do with that?
Check it for the index of supply.
Yeah, so we're going to hit index of and what am I index ofing?
Whatever you want to search for.
Yeah, whatever I want to search for. So that should be souffle. Oops. Souffle. Okay. What do I expect this to do right now? Absolutely nothing. At least nothing visible, right? It's going to go through and collect a bunch of probably negative ones, right? But it's not storing them anywhere. It's not doing anything with them. It's just like getting -1 for each line and just like, yep, whatever. Didn't find it. Didn't find it. What does it do if it found it? Same thing. Nothing. Never mind. Whatever. Don't care. Like just it's taking your result from your index of and just pitching it, right? So what do I want to do with the result of index of? Yeah, I want to kind of think about like, well, if it finds it, right? So what if I just hit if?
If that whole statement is greater than 0, or yeah,
Cool. So is bigger than 0?
Greater than or equal to 0?
Yeah, I really want greater than or equal to 0. Maybe I'll just do isn't equal to -1.
Sure, yeah, that works. Then you want to save that as that index as a variable. Print it. I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on what you want to do with it. I'm just going to print it out. Okay, oops, what do I want to print?
First you want I, so that you know what line for.
Okay, so I want to, and I'm going to do this with the method I showed you before for how you add like indicators to this. So I want this to say like on line blank, and then print out the result, right? Or maybe line whatever is, and then print out a result. So maybe I do line I is, oh yeah, line I has souffle in it, semicolon, stuff, right? Now, this isn't actually going to work, right?
Yeah, you gotta put those in quotation marks, and then
Okay, so I need quotes around the whole thing.
you need quotes around line, and then you don't need quotes around I, and then you need quotes around supply.
Okay, and then you need to add these together, right? Because, yeah, and the fancy computer science word for add is concatenate, right? Which is to add strings. So I'm saying line, and then I'm inputting I, I'm saying has souffle in it, and then I have just an extra keystroke that I made. Okay, now what's it going to tell me? Nothing. It's just going to say this line has souffle in it, and then it's not going to output the line. I would like it to output the line. How do I output the line?
Print line,
Oh, yeah, you can just stick it in here. So I just want lines I, right? And I probably want another space or one of these guys. Anybody know what a /n does in there? Ben knows.
is that like a carriage return?
Yeah, it's carriage return. which is a hilarious word when you think about it. Carriage return is a thing about typewriters. Okay, so if I hit this, what's it probably going to do?
Fail.
Probably not going to print out anything.
If you go into your text document.
Wait, why did it print that? Oh, it printed that because I had an uncommented. Okay. Now if I go, it's probably not going to do anything, probably because the word souffle is not in my text document.
If you go into your text document, you just add souffle to it somewhere.
Yeah, we could check that way. I'm going to try something quick. I didn't try this before, so it may not work. But I'm going to try something fairly silly. I'm going to do what Story suggested. So I'm going to go into this document, and I'm going to grab its location. Did you guys see that? So that's in the random books one, right? And then I'm going to go try to put that into here. And I think I need another one of those. Invalid escape sequence. Oh, does not appreciate that. Okay, so then we could try this the other way. So the other way is to do this. Oh. Okay, cool. So the other way is to go look how to do that. Okay. That's relative to the file directory. That's not what I want. How to use an absolute path. That's what I want. Where's the absolute path? Why was that all yelly? I mean, that... What did I have in there before that was not working? Oops. Bugger. Oh. I bet it's these ones. Okay, cool. Alright, so I think I still have no souffles in my random text document, right? So what if I go over to my random text document and just make it hella big?
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, now this should make an enormous random book. And hopefully that book now contains the word souffle. Damn it.
Or not.
Yeah, let me just try something shorter, right? So let's see if this one works. Oh yeah, it loves that. Right? SO's in a lot of lines. I'm not sure if you see this, but it's in like every 7th line or less.
Do not search for me.
Yeah. So let's fix that. So it should be noted that this is basically the law of large numbers that I'm fiddling with. And the cool thing... Bugger. Just find it.
If they don't find one, then it has the other thing reactivate.
The other, oh, yeah, we could probably do that, right? We could write the other thing into a method in here, and then we could, right, instead of me flipping back and forth and manually creating this silly thing every time, we could put this in a method, right? So we just take all this code, right, and put it into a generate random book method. Cool. We could totally do that, but I'm out of time. Damn it, I really wanted to find the word souffle. I'm going to try for 2 more seconds. No, it doesn't like that. Yeah, it's bigger than the int. I really should have used a long to create that. Come on. Oh yeah, I probably should increase the line width. Dunno. Okay, now I feel like I have a good chance here.
No.
The hell?
Okay, so let's see. How many episodes of souffle?
Enough, apparently.
7? Okay, so wait, are you spelling it right?
It,
I don't know that.
that's literally the only thing that doesn't matter, story. God, I really want this to work just once.
Use 9 instead of 4.
Soup. Look for soup.
We'll look for a souffle misspelled.
A soup.
Oh, there we go.
You have soup. You have lots of soup.
Oh, this is not...
I saw it. Yeah, right there.
Why is this printing out such short... You guys see this? These are only 10 lines. Or these are only 40 characters, right? So why isn't it changing my line length to a bajillion?
Maybe it's a maximum.
Or maybe it's still saving?
That's a possibility.
Let's see. So this is not the one I'm looking at. I'm looking at this one, right?
Oh.
Well, that might be my problem right there.
Oh, there it goes.
Why are these...
Holy crap. That's the greatest thing.
Do I have word wrap on?
Maybe you forgot to use the right. Maybe you left a 30 in there or something.
Maybe I hard-coded the length of the...
Search for 30 or 40 or whatever it was.
Less than the line length. Huh. I don't know. Oh! No. No lines, line length.
Maybe it just knows 300,000 words.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to fiddle with this. What if I make this a more reasonable number, like 60? Oh, what if I make this a more reasonable number too? Okay. Right, so I have something dorked up going on. So I'm just kind of trying to... Okay, so now that seems to work. So I don't know why it wasn't... I don't know why it didn't appreciate having these be really long. It may have been that it literally wasn't finishing executing to save the file. It looked like it was done, though. It should be noted that this is right, that this is pretty process intensive to do this. Mostly to write that file, but also the way that I'm well, and the way that I'm... Oh no, the array should be fine. Yeah, this search is not super efficient, but it's not that bad, actually.
So instead of having to type up a string and having it like post on your game or whatever, you could instead create something that randomly generates thousands of lines of text, and then from that pull, from the thousands of lines of text, extract words that you want and insert it in the places that you want it. Yes.
Yes, of course we could just have it randomly pick some places and put the word souffle in it, which would have made a much more satisfying example. Okay.